Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Medical marijuana shops are legal in the city of Santa Ana. Voters there approved them back in the last election. Officials now working to shut down the illicit ones. Councilman from Santa Ana, Sal Tinajero, now to tell us what's going on in the city. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So voters approved the medical marijuana shops, and this now allows you to regulate what's going on and get rid of the bad guys.
That is correct. In the last election, there was a measure that was put on the ballot by the marijuana companies. It was called Measure CC, and we realized that it was going to be a bad measure for the city of Santa Ana, so we had to play defense and assure that these medical dispensaries were away from our parks, schools, and neighborhoods. And also we imposed other curfews to them as well. But we have selected about 22 that it was a random and unbiased process through a lottery system, and I think we received about $1.2 million in application fees, which now gives us the money to go out and shut down the ones that are operating illegally.
So 22 are authorized to operate. How many do you think are operating in the city right now?
Prior to the election, there was about 100. Today, I would say there's about 50 operating. Many of them have decided that they need to get out of Santa Ana because the enforcement is going to be harsh and tough. So they've now decided to go to other cities. But we're still cracking down, and we've shut quite a few down in the last couple of weeks.
So what tools do you have to enforce?
The difference today is back prior to Measure BB, we didn't have the money to enforce, so we would go and we would fine them, and they would shut down for about a week, and then they'd start up again, and we wouldn't get back to them for another 6 to 8 months. Today, we are able to shut down their electricity. We're working with Southern California Edison to shut down the electricity, shutting down their water. We are also imposing fines for landlords who knowingly lease their buildings to individuals who are operating the medical marijuana dispensaries.
So you took a proactive approach to regulate these dispensaries. What is the benefit to the city in doing so, aside from the regulations that run out the other guys?
I think the main issue here is this, that we did not have the revenue to do that. Medical marijuana dispensaries operate on cash, but there's something called a POS system, point of sales, that allows us to really see what they're selling, and there's a process to scan all the inventory that comes in. We are going to receive that 5% tax above our sales tax, which is what the voters approved. With that 5%, we are bringing it in to do all enforcement. So we're going to hire officers that all their job is going to do is to go ahead and shut down these medical marijuana dispensaries. We've hired our code enforcement, more code enforcement people to do the same, as well as hiring another attorney in our city attorney's office in case we need to prosecute or go and challenge them in the courts.
Okay, so you can enforce this. What other effects do you expect this to have on the city?
You know, I believe that the city has a great opportunity right now to show that there is something coming along the way. In 2016, it's possible. It's polling at about 65% that the legalization of marijuana is coming to the state of California. If not, there's going to be something at the state level where it could regulate medical marijuana dispensaries statewide. So I think it's prudent for people to be ahead of the game and decide how they want to run their cities. And what we decided to do is, you're not going to be near a school, you're not going to be near neighborhoods, you're not going to sell them in mobile trucks, you're not going to open past 8 o'clock at night, and you're not going to be in the pathways of kids going home from school. So we've put them in industrial zones. You can't have green crosses, you can't have that kind of signage, and so it just creates a quality of life that our residents will improve for our residents, whereas before we didn't have the revenue to give them that protection.
Very interesting. You're on the forward edge of this.
Forward edge, yes.
In the county and throughout the state. Thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Appreciate
Glad you
your
could
time.
join us too. I'm Leslie Lee.